Stop trying to copy Doechii's style and do this instead. Hi, it's me in editing. I just need to explain that the reason why I am in my fabulous red suit and I'm sat next to a Christmas tree in this video is because the TikTok that I am extending and giving new thoughts to was posted before Christmas. So in case you were concerned, I'm not one of these people that does Christmas 12 months a year. I am simply a girl who post Paris Fashion Week has new thoughts on Doechii style. So I hope that clears that up. And while we're here, most of the videos in this playlist, I think apart from like Pamela Anderson and Khalees, they are all based on TikToks that I posted ages ago. That playlist on TikTok has like 1 million views or something. But I love to bring them to YouTube and extend them, give more context, more ideas, and just make them better. So with that said, let's commence. Here's my train of thought on Doechii's style.
You have to have a certain taste level and an eye to immediately understand it. It might take a couple people to catch up.
Doechii has cited Outkast as a source of inspiration before, and I think that is the perfect starting point in this presentation titled Modern Vintage Black. The way 3 Stacks and Big Boy manage to balance each other is something that Doechii does in her own outfits. It's eccentric risk-taking with one foot in the past, but it always has a high taste level, always reads as expensive. We frequently see Doechii mixing things like heritage plaids, tartans and sharp tailoring with classic pieces that pay homage to hip-hop. The way she does this so seamlessly makes me think that she is somebody that people should really have an eye on when it comes to the upcoming Met Gala, because I would consider her a black dandy.
I love telling fashion stories, and that's what we plan on doing at the Grammys, so let's get into it. In my studying of hip-hop, I observed an era where fashion shifted and became a vital part of hip-hop, and it was around the time where Jay-Z decided to put on a suit and take off jeans and make rap highly luxurious and like this boss executive thing. I fell in love with Thom Browne in my research for brands that I wanted to incorporate into this era, and I want to tell that story, that being a student of hip-hop and studying brought me to where I am, which is nominated for 4 Grammys, which is incredible. We're gonna be giving them classes in session all night.
See also Busta Rhymes. It takes a very special person to actually be successfully alternative in the mainstream and still have the wider audience thinking you're cool. If we're talking about people that I could see being Doechii's neighbours at the Swamp, I would say Dennis Rodman, which is a perfect segue for us to start talking about those who really matter in fashion, because we know Dennis loves to dabble in drag. Doechii has made it one of her signatures to wear her face tape showing, which obviously reminds me of the performance of beauty that is drag, but also the ballroom scene. Look into the face category, because Doechii, even with a more natural beat, is always giving that perfect visage. I did see a Doechii interview, I believe it was in her video when she was getting ready for a show with Vogue Paris, and she was talking about how she likes to show the things that people hide and she's attracted to that, and she imagines if she were a superhero, face tape would be part of her superhero suit. That also kind of reminds me of when people style their hair and leave the sectioning clips in. There's something about showing the process of glamour and the pursuit of beauty that's a look in and of itself, and in Doechii's case we could also talk about the pursuit of greatness. Of course, she's alternative, but she's also chameleonic, which really reminds me of Janet Jackson, who's managed to authentically serve us every look under the sun. Have you seen this documentary called The Heavy Metal Queens of Botswana? ID also had an article about it, but if you want to talk about committing to a look, then it is a must watch. There's a really strong heavy metal scene there, and committing to wearing like head to toe leather in that heat is actually pure commitment to expression of self. Someone I think about a lot when I see Doechii's many looks is Pam Grier when she played Foxy Brown. Not because they dress anything alike, but because the only thing I can actually remember about that movie is Pam's confidence and beauty, and I just feel like no matter what the look was, she appeared on the screen, I was completely captivated. But I guess it does tie back to that modern vintage that we were talking about. It's that kind of late 90s, early 2000s, does 70s vibe. Actually, a lot of things Alicia Keys wore in this era I could see on Doechii. She wears a lot of Thom Browne, and when she works with designers, I guess at this stage of her career, she wears a lot of full looks. Same with Miu Miu. But even in a full look, she always brings herself to the look, and I think especially with Thom Browne, that's a really hard thing to do. So it really shows how much style she naturally has, because Thom Browne has such intense house codes that I feel like most people head to toe in Thom Browne, it just looks like a walking campaign, but Doechii still looks like Doechii. And that also speaks to the way she performs on stage with a group, with her band, her backing singers, and they all kind of look the same, but they all have their little bit of pizzazz that sets them apart. It's collegiate, it's dance line, it's cheer. when everyone wears the same thing, but for some reason you still have your favourite. Definitely look at the Ronettes and Ronnie Spector for this. Here's a picture of Lauryn Hill looking cute and collegiate for your mood board. Talk about foreshadowing that I put that picture of Lauryn Hill in my original TikTok, as of course we got to witness Doechii have the honour of performing with Miss Lauryn Hill herself recently, which came just after her immaculate Paris Fashion Week run that we have to talk about, because what we witnessed with Doechii during Fashion Month was somebody who has been in training for that moment her whole life. The last time I saw somebody have that good a Fashion Week run was Cardi B at her first Couture Week. I did make a really off-the-cuff video about Doechii at Fashion Week, and I just want to put a clip of it in here. We need to talk about Doechii's look at the Chloe show. Doechii has been serving day in, day out throughout Paris Fashion Week. I've loved every single look, but this has to be my favourite. And the way you know that you're in the presence of a future icon is her commitment to every single look. This woman came to the show with no shoes on. We all love Chimina Kamali at Chloe, and she's really pushing the resurgence of boho, but I feel like it really gives us like a specific image. But Doechii adds performance quality to all her outfits, and as much as the practical part of my brain is like it's freezing, it's dirty, the creative part says slay. Even in her look for Tom Ford, she looks incredible. She could have just stopped there, but of course she had to step out in front of the paparazzi and smoke a cigarette. I'm not endorsing smoking, however, she knew this was the moment. She knew these photos were going to look great. She knows what she's doing. Incredibly Grace Jones coded. And it's these same little details that separate the icons from everybody else. I'm talking about the Madonnas, the Grace Joneses, the Erykah Badus, the Gagas. This is the stuff that we'll be talking about in 20, 30, 40, 50 years time. Because now when I see this Chloe logo, all I think about is Doechii. And I want to go ahead and add Missy Elliott to that list of people that I think perform fashion, because if you go back to the 90s, the 2000s, and you think about Missy Elliott's outfits compared to any of the other girls that were killing it at that time that just had good style, she is the one that had cultural impact. And all the women that I listed before, Missy, Grace Jones, Madonna, Gaga, the thing that sets them apart is that they're not afraid to not look pretty all the time and not always just be serving glamour and beauty. They give fashion that has a message, a meaning, a purpose, and you either get it or you don't.
I have planes to catch. I have planes to catch. Okay? Move!
I feel called to mention the artwork from TLC's fan mail. Shout out to how Left Eye looked when she went solo. I say all this to say that once again, Doechii's fashion is rooted in the fact that she is super well referenced, super creative, and super smart. As always, assess everything, see what resonates, go to your own wardrobe, play, and let me know how it goes. Bye!